which is why I'm not calling for Keir Starmer to walk out of number 10 tomorrow and not come back.
I want him to leave number 10 down the street in the middle of the night, not tell anyone, and people just wake up and say, oh, where's the Prime Minister? Oh, well, let's go and elect someone else. That's what I want.
I'm as real as a real can get. What you see?
Buongiorno freaks and geeks, welcome back to the channel. So I might be speaking out of turn here, but things are starting to be really exciting in UK politics, isn't it? I mean, it's been at least 4 or 5 days since I've checked anything to do with United States politics or Israel politics, and for me that's actually quite refreshing. So since the disaster of the local elections last Thursday, many interactions or interventions have since taken place. Angela Rayner decided to stick her head above the parapet and declare Keir Starmer needs to go. Also, it was a mistake to block Andy Burnham from even running as an MP in the Greater Manchester area. And I guess thinking about different realities, it would have been quite interesting to see what would have happened if Andy Burnham did run as that MP in that by-election, because he still had to go head to head with the Greens, and it would have been a real test of who is better at left-wing politics, at least in that area of the country. But in addition to Angela Rayner's intervention, Channel 4 decided to speak to the head of a union, I think it's the firefighters union, to see what they thought should be the next steps for this current Labour Party and UK government. So let's get straight into that video. But before we do, please don't forget to hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and tell me down below, should there be a leadership election for the Labour Party this summer?
Well, joining me now is Steve Wright, the leader of the Fire Brigades Union, which is affiliated to the Labour Party.
I beg your pardon?
It's absolutely astonishing that there are any unions still affiliated to this Labour Party, considering Keir Starmer said this at the beginning of his premiership.
If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
So unions need to explain to me, what is it about Keir Starmer that just made you stick around? Was it his complicity in America and Israel's unprovoked attack on Iran? Or was it his stance in regards to immigration and refugees in this country? Because it can't be his domestic economic policy, because he has none.
This intervention from Angela Rayner, is it the beginning of the end for the Prime Minister, do you think?
I think the writing's on the wall for Keir Starmer. I think we've seen what's played out over the last couple of days. Exactly that. The voters have spoken, a clear message has been sent, and I think that the answer now is to set a clear time frame and transition to a new leader of the party.
So from that response, I get the impression that local elections are just popularity contests, because if you're telling me local councillors don't really have that much power to impact your day-to-day life, and you're just showing how much you like or dislike the current UK government, what other reason would there be to hold local elections? Just a popularity contest every so many years, just to check the temperature of whether the current UK government is going in the right direction, I guess.
I mean, these statements in politics are often quite coded, aren't they? She pointedly does not ask for the PM to stand down.
Okay, my mistake. I thought she outright said the PM needs to go. I guess she doesn't have that much of a backbone, but hey ho, it's politics.
But in asking for Andy Burnham to be allowed back into Westminster, that's where this is headed, yeah?
I think that was a mistake not to allow Andy Burnham to stand in the by-election. And I think we've seen what's played out since, to be part of that, bad decisions being made by the Prime Minister and his cabinet. And I think a speech tomorrow, I know this Prime Minister and this cabinet and this government have become quite good and experienced at making U-turns. I don't think there is any way he or they can turn this around now.
But I mean, the Education Secretary was arguing to me today, saying this is not the moment for the sort of chaos that will come from changing leader at this point.
Yeah, that's such a cop-out and a stupid response. Like, you're already in chaos. Like, I don't think you're doing anything in an orderly fashion. You've made multiple U-turns in the last 2 years. Nobody likes you. In fact, I truly believe a leadership contest at this very moment might bring some order to the country and give people something to dream about or aspire to. So yeah, the education secretary, again, just getting drunk on the Keir Starmer supply, whatever it may be.
You know, we've watched him negotiate and navigate global conflicts. We've got a cost of living crisis. This is just not the moment.
Two things he's done nothing about. He hasn't navigated any global conflicts. In fact, we've seen on the world stage Donald Trump cuck him, saying that he is no Churchill. So he didn't make any decisions in regards to that. He just allowed the Americans to ride roughshod over us and use our bases to refuel and just rearm their bombs to go and blow up innocent people in Iran. And in regards to the cost of living crisis, again, this man has done naught. He needs to go. He is less than a placeholder. This guy is a cardboard cutout of a human being, and we need to put him in the shredder.
Well, look, I think we're in chaos now.
You're goddamn right.
Which is why I'm not calling for Keir Starmer to walk out of number 10 tomorrow and not come back.
I want him to leave number 10 Downing Street in the middle of the night, not tell anyone, and people just wake up and say, oh, where's the Prime Minister? Oh, well, let's go and elect someone else. That's what I want.
I think there needs to be a transition period where we can have all voices within the party, all wings of the party to come together, the voices of trade unions to once again be listened to. Because actually, I think if trade unions had been listened to throughout Keir Starmer's term in as Prime Minister, then maybe some of the bad decisions that have been made wouldn't have been made.
And again, this response has just illustrated how stupid the unions have been. If you are telling me someone has continuously not listened to you, not even one iota, why the hell would you still claim affiliation with them? He's shown very clearly he's not a party for the working class anymore. So why are unions, who are supposed to represent workers, sticking around? It makes zero sense. No logic there, and they need to rethink it all.
I mean, the timing is pretty bad, isn't it, for this at the moment? Angela Rayner makes a statement asking for Andy Burnham to be allowed back into Westminster, presumably having to rule herself out from standing because she's still got issues with her tax. But it's not straightforward for Andy Burnham to get back to Westminster now, is it?
In my opinion, Andy Burnham or the Labour brass just need to bump off a MP in a very safe Labour seat. Maybe just release some documents exposing them for, I don't know, fraud or complicity in war crimes, or even that their name was shown up in the Epstein files. That way they can resign, trigger a by-election, and then just parachute Andy Burnham in there. That's if you really want the Labour Party to continue governing the country after the next general election.
No, it's not. But I think we need to give some time to look at all of this. We need to see what plays out over the next few months. Look, I'm clear that whoever is Prime Minister and whoever becomes the leader of the Labour Party needs to return to Labour values. And it's not just necessarily about the personality or the person sat in that hot seat, I suppose. It is around what policies that they're going to deliver on. And I'll be making the case and asking the questions of whoever that is. What are they going to do for the Fire and Rescue Service? We saw 14 years of austerity, the closure of fire stations, the loss of firefighters. But what are they going to do to deliver on things like that?
Yeah, I guess anyone watching this has to come to terms with the fact that unions aren't on behalf of all workers. They're only on behalf of workers that are members of their union. So this gentleman here talking about firefighters and the literal cost of austerity on their service, which again, I do want money going to firefighters. I don't want fires to just run rampant around the country. And we saw what could happen when a fire does spread uninterrupted in the former Grenfell Tower. and that disaster, and the fact that no one has been charged around, that whole just dark period in UK history. So yeah, I'm not begrudging you advocating for more money towards the fire service, but also like all working people, maybe like you can still extend that in your capacity as leader of this union for the fire brigade. You can still say, yeah, I want all workers to have a rise in the standard of living.
Plus investment in public services, putting pay back in workers' pockets. That's what we want to see. Labour returning to the values that I think they were voted in on 2 years ago.
And who do you think will represent those values best? You must have a candidate in mind.
Well, I think there needs to be a departure from anyone that's related or been within Cabinet recently that has been part of the decisions that have been made over the past 2 years.
Anyone at all, that rules everybody out, doesn't it, pretty much?
Well, first of all, what he was saying is anyone that's been in the cabinet for the past 2 years, that doesn't rule out everyone. There's still a lot of left of centre candidates within the backbenchers of the Labour Party who could throw their hat in the ring and become leader and actually return to the genesis of the Labour Party, actually representing Labour and workers and the downtrodden and the marginalised in this country, which no one in this current cabinet gives a damn about. So yeah, I do like how he didn't actually put a name on it. I would have put a name on it if I was him, but I'm not.
Well, I think anyone that's been part of the bad decisions that have been made, I think we need to see a radical change. I think that's the message that we put out as Labour-affiliated trade unions, a radical change, a radical and clear departure from what we've seen over the last 2 years. And I think we've got an opportunity here to have a period of time to reflect, bring back some democracy to the party and deliver on
If you
it.
rule out everybody in Cabinet, that only leaves, maybe, Andy Burnham.
Or the hundreds of backbenchers that were elected to Parliament in the last general election in 2024. Like, how about one of those people? Like, I don't know, Clive Lewis, maybe. He hasn't been in cabinet, and as far as I'm aware, he's pretty left of centre. So yeah, come on, Channel 4, do some more homework there.
Well,
Some unknown candidate, but it's Andy Burnham, presumably. You know, given what you said, the direction you want to go in, Andy Burnham would be your man, wouldn't he?
Well, look, we as a union, we don't select the candidates. That's the Parliamentary Labour Party that will do that. But certainly we'll be making a case.
You can back a candidate, can't you?
Yeah, we can do. But like you say, there's a lot of hoops to jump through before we get there. What I want to be clear on, and my message, is around who's going to deliver for the Fire and Rescue Service, the members that I represent, who's going to invest in public services, who's going to start restoring wages of workers. And that's what we want to see from a Labour Party. That's why people went out and voted in their numbers 2 years ago.
Hold on a minute there, mister. You're putting a bit too much dip on your chip. That's not why people went out 2 years ago and voted for the Labour Party. They voted for the Labour Party in 2024 because they hated the Tories more. That's all it was. Like, by that time, Keir Starmer had basically relinquished or just unshackled himself from all of the progressive policies he promised the Labour Party membership when he initially got elected. So yeah, miss me with that. Yeah, no.
That's why we have campaigned for many years.
Really briefly, if you would. It's being reported now that allies of Wes Streeting are suggesting if things all collapse, he will make a bid for leader. That's making sure, sort of shot across the bows of the left, that the right are also interested.
If Wes Streeting is elected leader of the Labour Party and thus the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, we are going to be sucked into a black hole. Not just Great Britain and the Republic of Ireland, or the island of Ireland, but the whole of Europe is gone. Like, Wes Streeting is probably the worst person you could ever think who's going to take over as leader of the country, considering he is 2 degrees of separation from Jeffrey Epstein. Again, this is not tolerable.
Yeah, well, I don't think a snap reaction to any of this is helpful for us. We saw that with the Conservative Party revolving door of Prime Ministers. Let's have something decent and let's have a proper debate about it.
And really quickly, you suggesting a pull to the left, the election results suggest the country's moving in completely the other direction, doesn't it?
No, because what are you talking about? You're just talking about England. Like, England is not the whole country. Like, you need to look at what happened in Scotland and Wales. So, like, for you to say, oh, the whole country is pulling to the right, you are wrong, and you should be ashamed of yourself for even putting that question out into the public domain.
I'm not sure that's the case, actually. I think there's a departure to both sides, if you like, and we need to make sure that Labour are filling that gap and making sure that they deliver on the promises that they've made.
Steve Wright, thanks very much for coming in. Thank you.
So that was a look at a brief segment within a wider Channel 4 news programme. In regards to what was mentioned, Keir Starmer, you need to leave. And I mean leave yesterday, but he's made that even more difficult by announcing today that he is nationalising British Steel, which is quite interesting for a number of reasons. When the results of last Thursday's local elections were finalised, Keir Starmer said he's not going to move to the left or right. So what does he do on the Monday? Announces he's going to nationalise a company. Does that mean he's moving to the left? Not necessarily, because we saw what happened after the financial crisis, whereby Gordon Brown took Northern Rock into public ownership before selling it back to the private sector. Is that something Keir Starmer would do? Also, this act of nationalisation, is it an opportunity to try and pull voters away from the Green Party? Maybe. But what will he do to pull voters away from reform? Start sticking refugees into blenders on live TV? I don't know. So I would take this announcement with a massive pinch of salt. Secondly, who will take over if Keir Starmer just walks away into the sunset with his fat pension? God, I hope it's not West Streeting. That would be a disaster for everyone. It has to be someone from the left wing. I can't believe I'm saying this. The left wing of the Labour Party. How's there left wing of the Labour Party? You should all be left wing. God damn it. But yeah, it has to be someone from the left of the current Labour Party, which, by the looks of it, is only a handful, maybe two handsful at the most. Thirdly, in my opinion, I do think they're going to find a way for Andy Burnham to return to Parliament very soon. And if he doesn't return very soon, I think they're going to find a placeholder candidate as leader for the Labour Party in the meantime. So that's what I think. What do you think? Please tell me down below. I would love to read it. If you stayed with me up to this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. If you like audiobooks, I voiced one, link in the description below. And remember, once we understand politics more, we will make better choices. Don't forget to hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Ciao.
Keep moving up, don't you ever stop. Whatever it is, take it, take it, take it, take it.